everybody, and welcome to BCM's 2025 Annual Member Meeting. Woo! Yeah. 2025 has been a real interesting year, and you're going to get to hear all about it. But before that, I'm going to invite up our Vice Chair, Harold Adler, to say a few words. Unfortunately, our Board Chair, Winston Burton, could not be here this evening, but we got Harold here. So, Harold, do you want that mic or this mic? You can choose.
Doesn't matter.
All right, cool.
My name is Harold Adler. I've been involved in photography and film all my life. I started off when I was a child doing pictures, learning how to use a darkroom, basically in my parents' bathroom in the basement, making prints when I was 8 years old. But I love photography and I love film. And BCM is a great place to be for many reasons. And it's very affordable too. Let me start off by talking about the affordability. You can go to a film school and pay thousands of dollars to go to a film school. BCM is it's practically nothing. It's $40 for seniors and students for a year. It's $60 for Berkeley residents. That's nothing. And for non-residents, $120. I think interns can actually take the classes for free. So if you come on as an intern, it's free classes. I mean, it's so affordable. It's affordable. Okay, let's go from that. BCM right now is looking for more board members. If you want to be on the board, if you have specifically talents in fundraising, funding, and any various kind of talents, we're looking for people to be on the board. BCM also, in terms of the classes, we have LED lighting, 4K cameras, a podcast room, a green screen room, a live studio room, which we are now in. It's very, very good place to be. If you're a beginner, if you're intermediate, or you're an advanced person, think about renting equipment. You know how much renting equipment is here if you're a member? It's free. You get equipment, beautiful cameras, beautiful lighting equipment. It's free if you're a member. You just have to be certified, of course. So we have class in field production, we have class in editing, classes in sound, and we're about to have a new class in sound production for film production. In other words, we'll have a teacher teaching sound, amazing sound production. Victor Owens has been an engineer for 40 years, and we're going to teach sound, because film is film, but without good sound, your film is not so good. You know what I'm saying? And you can edit it in post-production, trying to fix it up, but if you don't have good sound to begin with, it's going to be very difficult to correct that and make it good sound. So that's the beginning future. BCM has come a long ways in the last several years, but specifically we had a few bumps in the road. Every relationship, every situation has bumps in the road, but you call them wake-up calls and you learn from it. We're stronger now than ever. So we've learned from our experiences. And look, in growth, you keep growing, you keep learning. Every day you learn something about something. You keep growing. I'm 81 and I'm still learning about things. Every day I learn something. If you're not learning, Bob Dylan said, "He who is not busy born is busy dying." Let me repeat that. He who is not busy being born is busy dying. Think about what that means, okay? That's powerful stuff. Thank you, Bob. Okay, anyway, so that's pretty much all I have to say. And I want to say something. Dave, stand up for a minute. I want to hear a round of applause for Dave Flores. He's an amazing guy. Without David, this organization was down. David, he's my hero. He's a very technologically capable person, but in terms of administration and making BCM work, he makes it work. He works I won't say the ASS word, but I won't say the A word, but he works it off every day to make this a great place to be. So I encourage you, if you're not, and out in the World Wide Web, if you want to be a member, you can be a member anywhere in the world, actually. You can be a member online and see what's going on online. You can submit material online. If you're a filmmaker in Alaska or Russia or China, or anywhere in the world, you can be a member of BCM. So I encourage you to become a member. It's very affordable. And if you want to be on the board, please contact David or myself and tell us, about your ability and your energy, and We'd love to have you. Thank you so much, and I'll give you Dave Flores.
All right, and a big thank you to Harold and to all of our board members. If you are a member of the BCM board, please raise your hand now. I know we got at least 4 in here. So yes, wonderful folks. You see they volunteer and they actually help out on shoots and they show up for our stuff, and we really appreciate everything the board does. And just to echo what Harold said, we do have 2 open spots on the board, so if you have interest in learning how a nonprofit works or you want to get hands-on and help out with community media, we highly encourage you to attend some of the board meetings, see what they're like. After you've attended 3, you are eligible to be voted in on the board. So highly encourage you to come check it out, see what they're like. This could even count as one since it's the annual member meeting. And then additionally, to echo what Harold was saying about membership, we have a variety of different levels, from student levels and seniors, which are $40, to non-resident rates, which it could be anywhere, like you mentioned, and it's $120. But additionally, we never try to put a financial burden on folks who are struggling. So if that doesn't work for you, come talk to us. We'll figure out something. It could be a work trade or an internship or something to get you with the camera in your hand and to be able to tell your own stories in your own voice, which these days I think is so important. Okay, so moving on. 2025, what a year. Here at BCM, it's been a little slow, but honestly, I'm going to take a lot of the credit for that. For those who don't know, I had a baby this year, so I haven't been signing us up for too much extra new stuff. But that being said, we've been putting a focus on our in-house activities and making sure that we're providing the best service that we can to our members. That, I don't know if y'all can see over here, but that includes a whole new slew of digitizing equipment. As y'all may or may not know, analog film, it deteriorates. That could be your VHSs, your mini DV tapes, your Betacam tapes, or even your U-matic tapes. Those have a shelf life. Even your DVDs, those are not gonna last forever. So we highly encourage you, with the membership, you can come and learn how to digitize and bring in your home movies and digitize them. Because on digital format, it makes it way easier to share to your loved ones who may not have seen this content for decades. And then it's there for historical purposes. You upload it to YouTube, and unless you get your account deleted somehow, it should stay up there indefinitely. Let's see. Some of our big struggles this year have been funding. So we get funded through primarily the city of Berkeley, through our city council meetings, rent stabilization meetings, and zoning adjustment board meetings. However, that finances us primarily for operations, which is our everyday, day-to-day funding. What really matters for us is staying relevant with our equipment. As y'all know, we rent our equipment out to members of the public who some folks may have never touched a camera before. They get some hard use, and sometimes things break on them. Of our 7 pro-level cameras, we only have 2 fully functioning cameras. Now, that to be said, they're still usable. They just may not have a connector that works here, or you got to use a different SD card slot. However, just to bring it back to what I was saying, capital funding, that's what we use to actually purchase equipment. And that's been the struggle for this year. Typically, we get funded every 2 years. We'll put in a request to the city, and they give us funding. There's been some movement at the city, so they weren't as knowledgeable about the process, or there was some confusion there. That being said, at our most recent council member meeting, we had on the consent calendar BCM to be approved for $150,000 of capital funding, and fingers crossed that went through. The consent calendar was approved, and we were on that. So until we hear any differently, we should be expecting some new capital money coming in this coming year. So be on the lookout for, that's a big round for that. So be on the lookout for new computers, new cameras, both camcorders or the more pro-level cameras, but additionally, Pocket Osmos, which for those who have not used them, are phenomenal on-the-go cameras. Very small, great video quality, and gimbal stabilized. So additionally from that, we have a whole list. I think we have, it was last I checked, $68,000 of requests for equipment. As well as we're going to be updating our head end to be able to provide an even better resolution to our final end viewers on Comcast and AT&T. And we should be able to do live RTMP streaming directly to our head end with the new upgrade. So we're really excited about that. Moving on from our capital funding, as you all know, the Civic Center is going through some makeovers in the next few years. BCM has been really involved with the Council for a Creative, or Community.
Recording in progress.
Oh, sweet. Hey, we're recording now, y'all. We're actually recording on our other thing, but good to know that we have two sources of recording. Community for a Civic Center, or there's 4 C's, and I'm missing one of the C's. Sorry about it, y'all. I'm a little nervous up here in front of folks, but they're a community organization that has tasked itself with ensuring the revitalization of the Civic Center. That's this building, the Maudel Schreck building, the Veterans Memorial Hall, and the Civic Center. So we've been helping with taking video, helping promote the revitalization of that, and it's our hope that within the next 5-ish years, we hope that there'll be funding for that, and this building will be getting a retrofit, and BCM will get its permanent home and the new structure that's going to be in the back. Let's see. I already mentioned digitizing, which, just as a reminder, we have a new digitizing setup for folks to come and use. With that, I'm going to hand it off to, I'm going to just take a little break. I'll be back to Melanie. You want to talk about our community outreach? Sure. So cool. I'll pass it over to our wonderful Melanie Menzel and Liza, the Portuguese water dog.
Last we saw Liza, she was at the Horror Film Festival and she had gotten loose. So I've got her on a leash tonight. No getting loose again. Anyway, my name is Melanie Menzel and I'm the Outreach Director for BCN. I'm so happy to be here and see so many people that I love and know from all kinds of different times and experiences, and people that I haven't had a chance to get to know super well, but hopefully in the coming year we can get to know each other even better. Last year was our 30th anniversary. So that's 30 years. Now we're on the next cycle, and I'm remarketing our community club that we've been running for the last couple years as just sort of like every third Wednesday of the month. People can come and just share their work and kind of get feedback and, you know, just kind of see what they need help with. And what I realized is there's a ton of experienced people who really know their craft, and they have some particular thing that they do really, really well. And it would be so great if we could put together like a filmmaking team, like they do for Burning Man. Like people work all year long on just getting ready for Burning Man, and that's their 2 weeks of glory is to have that event as a production. But I really see BCM as a place for people to be able to come together, learn skills, and share them on this platform as the channel and also the film festival circuit. There's a lot of money that can be put towards education and for youth and for any people of any age, really, to get to know the craft. But it's the idea that if we can pull together, we can create more film festivals, which means more stories and more real connections with each other. And as we get into this age of AI, I think it's interesting, but I think it's kind of a lonely place that people come to. Like it's so super hyper realistic. And what I'm really interested in is the connection with people. So, and I think other people are also looking for that. I find Facebook groups are like looking to there's a hometown friends, Berkeley people that are on Facebook, and they're getting to meet up together. And, so I feel like BCM is a hub and a place for people to meet and gather, and then they can go out into the world. And if we could get together people who were dedicated once a month to doing this kind of team effort, we could put together all kinds of different film festivals. So we did have really good last year. We had the 48-hour Filmmaker Challenge, was very well attended, and people really got a lot out of it. And then we had the Horror Film Festival, which was in a new location in the Veterans Memorial Hall. And that was a great space to be able to spookify and make, bring in decorations and have as a new relationship with Options Recovery, thanks to Scott Sinclair, who teaches our podcast class. So I'm looking forward to 2026, new classes, more membership, more opportunities for us to really build skills together and, make this place a place for people to just, there's this energy. I have a vision that there's going to be this beautiful energy, people really coming together. So that's my report. My vision.
Thank you so much for that, Melanie. And let's just give another hand to Melanie. She really puts her heart and soul into all the events. And, we could not do it without her. We couldn't do it without all the staff. So, want to give a big shout out to our other staff who are here. Ned in the back over there. He does a ton for us. Sarah, Ruben, Kadir, Destiny. Am I forgetting anybody? Don, which Don reminds me, he and Brian, he was doing programming, and Joe. Yeah, we got folks out there. So I'm going to take a break from my report to read Don's report. He unfortunately could not be here either. But Don, for those who may or may not know, is our finance guy. And he makes sure that we are able to keep the wheels turning here at BCM. And so here's what he has to say. I should do a different voice for Don. No. BCM had another steady and solid year financially in 2025. We did so even though we had a little bit of a drop in both membership income and workshop income. We're hoping to offer more workshops in the coming year and offer some classes we haven't offered much in the past, including Photoshop. There has been some talk of doing a survey of our membership to see which classes would be most popular with them, with the hopes that we will fill up more workshop spots. One of the keys to filling up each of our offered workshops is to begin promoting them up to 5 weeks in advance for each offered workshop. Membership dues remain about on par with the past couple of years, which means that we could also use some improvement. Finding which classes people are most interested in taking can help drive better membership numbers. Also, reminding our members that membership is expiring soon can be a good way to improve retention rate. On a brighter note, BCM again received several grant awards, including another $4,000 grant from the City of Berkeley's Civic Arts Commission. This was a general operating grant fund, which allows us to use the funds in any manner we see fit. We spent a lot of time this year trying to get our benefactors at the City of Berkeley to provide us with more capital funding to replace aging equipment used for production, workshops, and our head end, which are two-channel cable cast from. Sorry, too many words on here. Although we still have not received those sought-after funds, there is real hope that we were getting those close to the realized goal. At the most recent City Council meeting, like I mentioned, December 2nd, BCM was approved for a chunk of funding that will help us to modernize some of our infrastructure. At this point, it remains unclear just how soon that funding will materialize, but we are counting on receiving it sometime in the first quarter of the 2026. The audit of BCM's financial operations was completed in late November and will be submitted to the City of Berkeley later this week. This work was again conducted by our longtime auditor, Christopher Ogbodo and Associates, and is an annual condition of our funding from the City of Berkeley. Don once again worked with Stacy Owens and S.E. Owens and Associates on audit coordination. That is your snapshot of events on the financial side of BCM for the year 2025. Thanks, Don. Yeah. And just to echo some of what Don was saying, we've had a few new classes this last year that have been pretty successful. One was After Effects. Thanks, Kadir. That was a good class. Another was Media Literacy with our own Keith Battle over here. And then additionally, we have some plans for new classes in the upcoming year, including from our very own Victor Owens, Audio for Video. And as Don mentioned, we've been talking about doing a Photoshop class. Even though it's not really video, still relevant and useful, as well as potentially Illustrator, because you can import those PNG graphics into your video assets, and it's really useful. Let's see. As Melanie mentioned, we had 2 successful film festivals this year, including with a brand new location, which by say brand new, it's an aging building over at the Veterans Memorial Hall. But for us, it was new, and it was a really cool space because it was much larger than what we've been at, which we love the Art House Gallery. Thank you, Harold. But we've been a little cramped in there the last couple of years. So this year, it was nice to be able to spread out and spookify the space, which that building is kind of spooky if y'all haven't been in there. It was perfect for the Horror Film Festival. But also, like Melanie was mentioning, BCM could not operate without our organizational partners and our members who come together to tell their own stories. And I just want to give a shout out to some of those ongoing partnerships as well as some new ones that we've had this year. First and foremost, We Poets. If you could raise your hand, Sally Baker. We love We Poets. Yeah. Sally just finished 41 years of producing her show. And one of our big hopes with the digitizing is to get her first 20 years of her show back on the air, digitizing them from U-matic tapes. So, yeah, and beta tapes. So that's an exciting thing. For those who haven't seen We Poets, it's a lovely show for media or for literacy for children, where they get to tell their poetry on TV and then tune in later. And we also get to hear from an adult guest who talks about their job. So We Poets is great. We love We Poets. Other partners we have, EAT, which for those who don't know what that is, that's Emotional Awareness Therapy. That's a new organization we've been working with, who are based out of San Quentin. They're teaching emotional literacy to people who, honestly, if they had had that training, probably would not have wound up in San Quentin. So it's really powerful work they're doing, and we love that we get to support them. Additionally, we've been partnering with the NAACP as well as the Black Repertory Theater to help update their lighting system and help the NAACP promote their messaging. YouthWorks Berkeley, which is a lovely organization which helps workforce development training for young people. We've partnered with them this year, and some of those digitizing hours is going to go to the YouthWorks folks because they get to see what digitizing and archiving is all about. Westside to Berkeley is our lowrider partnership organization who they're great. They also, I think they just had their 40-year anniversary not that long ago. No, 30-year. I'm sorry, I'm misquoting it. Sorry, Tony. But they're a lovely organization that we've also partnered with, that we've been working on a documentary about their organization, which has been funded by UC Berkeley Chancellor's Grant Fund. Be on the lookout for that early next year. And then I also want to give a shout out to Options Recovery. They are a great nonprofit who services folks who are coming out of the incarcerated system or coming out of drug use and need a clean place to land. And we've been helping them promote their graduations as well as their program. And they're an awesome partner. They were the ones who allowed us to have our horror film festival at the Veterans Memorial Hall. Okay, let's see. I talked about new classes. With that, we got to talk about what we're looking forward to the next year. We got these new classes coming up. We're going to have lots of new equipment, and we're going to be making the space even better, brighter, and more welcoming as we move forward. So we need y'all to help tell your stories. Let us know what you need. What training would you like to see? What equipment would you like to see? We listen. You can schedule a one-on-one with me, or we have a suggestion box if you want to do it on the sly. And with that, I would welcome any public comment. If there's any public comment for this meeting, or any of the board members can come up and say something. Hey, we got a guy over here. Chris, come on up.
My name is Steve Martino, and I really know very little about the BCM. Last year, somebody mentioned it, and I said, "What's that?" And then somebody mentioned it this summer, and I said, "What's that?" But I'm here, and I'm wondering if anybody has made any kind of film about People's Park and the monster that it has been turned into by the university there around its periphery. And if not, somebody should. And go over its history, because its history is very long. It's a good 50 years long. And it goes over the real history of the movements, from what they had started with, and then what they transformed into, and then what they transformed into again, doing things for students, and then for homeless people, and then for more students, and now for, like one can only guess. So that would be my proposal.
Hello, I just wanted to say thank you so much to BCM because I was walking down the street and then I saw the open sign, and I have been singing on the street with my friend Tim Stiles for over a year now, and he always brings his equipment, and I always have to be with him so I could get recorded, which I love because I like being with him. But this is nice because now I can get my own equipment, and then you will all be seeing me sing across BCM at the park. I hope to turn it into a stage. I used it today. It's kind of late. It was a little dangerous. So I'll be sure to do it more early. But again, I just want to say thank you to BCM, and I love what they're doing, and they're helping me a lot. So I know they'll help others. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Start singing. Okay, I'm Victor, and I'm looking forward to actually sharing my knowledge of audio recording. My background is primarily in recording music for many, many years. I had a recording studio for like 35 years, and it's great. I loved it. So I'm kind of back into the studio thing again, but audio and film, to me, is such an important marriage. It's the yin and yang. Those two really have to work well together. And I'm kind of under the observation that you can actually take mediocre footage, and if you have good sound, you can fool everyone quite well. So whether it's music or good Foley, good dubbing in, it makes a huge difference. Primarily, I've been trying to think about what kind of type of a curriculum to have for this. But just to give you an idea, an important thing to do when you're doing any kind of a film situation, it's really important to go to the location first. Don't bring your equipment. Go and look and see what the environment's going to be. Is it windy? Is it a lot of light? Is it no light? Stuff like that. So if you prepare, I'm talking about the sound right now. The video aspect will kind of fall in place, but sound is important to see what your environment will be, and then you can prepare for it so that you get better sound. The idea in just across the board, whether you're doing music or any type of recording, is get it right the first time. Don't try to post it. You can do post, but the problem is that if you make a lot of mistakes, it gets really hard and it's expensive, and it takes really a lot of time to try to make corrections. Get it right the first time, and then you're going to be sailing. So that's going to be kind of my premise of getting that happening for everyone here, and that's all I can say at this point.
Alrighty. Yeah, and I cannot stress what Victor said more strongly. People can forgive if your video's a little out of focus or the white balance is a little off, but as soon as you got bad audio, they're gonna tune out. So, is there anyone else that would like a public comment? Cool. We got Carla, our newest board of director. Come on up.
Hi. This comment is for Sally. Hey. So, little story time. I'm 39. I'll be 40 in June. True story, right? But I was on We Poets. And so sometime in the 90s, not sure, maybe 93-ish. So keep an eye out, all right? I want to find my footage. But my daughter, who's in the waiting room over there, was also on We Poets a few years ago. So I would like to thank you so much for doing everything that you did. You have 2 generations of people in here. Right, 3 generations. I'm talking about me and mine, though. But we were both on your show, and we just thank you and having a place, a spoken word. And I remember my poem. So it was called the Tick-Tock Clock, and it was the clock strikes 1, tick-tock, tick-tock, tick. The clock strikes 2, tick-tock, tick-tock, tick. The clock, well, we'll just go to 4. So I went up to 4, the clock strikes 4, and now that little tick-tock clock doesn't tick anymore. And that was my poem that I did on her show. That was it, way before TikTok, right? But I thank you so much because look what I blossomed into, and you definitely had something to do with that, and I thank you.
Yeah, and Carla's absolutely right. And, that's the type of thing we're trying to foster here, is people being able to tell their own stories, their own shows, have their own vision, being able to have the training and the know-how to do that themselves so that they have full control over that. Because there's a lot of folks who will try to direct your vision one way or another, but having control and being able to partner with other folks in community, which they want to partner on your shoots. They want the experience of getting behind a camera, doing a multi-camera switch. So that's something we're trying to cultivate here, and we're excited to keep that moving forward here in 2025. And can't wait to see what new stuff folks are making. Oh, in 2026, yeah, sorry. I'm saying too many words, yeah. Yeah, we're not going back in time. Well, Harold? Cool. We got Harold back up. And then if you want to make a motion to end the meeting after, we can.
Like somebody just said, somebody should make a documentary about People's Park. I think it's important right now, every day, look at your computer. What's happening? History is happening. We are living in a very tumultuous, historic time. Every day, history is being made. Berkeley is a center for activism and social freedom, social protest, and civil rights and civil liberties. People should be making if I was going to make a film right now, I'd make it a documentary about something that's important that we're living right now. People are on the streets of Berkeley doing things that are historically relevant. When I started off as a photojournalist in the 60s, I only photographed things I thought were important. The Black Panthers, the protests against the war in Vietnam, the People's Park riots in Berkeley. I photographed those things because I thought they were important. If you have a camera and you can use it, shoot things that are going on. And I'm not so much the riots. Yeah, the riots. But talk to the people that are speaking about what's going on with the riots, what's going on with history. It's so important. We have the technology. Use it. Thank you.
And we got video cameras, which are audio and photo. So, we marry that together here. Though we could do stills with the video cameras. With that, if maybe one of our board members wants to make a motion to end the meeting, unless someone else has something else they want to say.
I'll make a motion. Okay.
Yeah. All right, so Carla made the motion, Ken seconded it. So thank y'all for attending our annual member meeting and looking forward to seeing what you create in the coming year.